Good morning. We're live. We're live.
All right. Good morning, all. How's it going? It's a beautiful day in paradise. Wait a minute. All right. Now we're live on Kiltz Mighty Tribe, Dr. Kiltz, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Welcome all. Thanks for stopping in. Who's number one? Target Prime Rib. Awesome. Hello, Dr. Kiltz. Oh, we got Claire here. Yay.
Yay.
All right.
Hi.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my God, it's really fantastic. Okay, where are you in this world?
I'm in San Francisco.
Okay, so you're a rock star. It's 2 a.m.?
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Go to sleep after.
Yes, exactly.
It's so easy as a carnivore just to be up at any time and just, we're lions, right?
Yes, exactly. And then sleep very well afterwards.
Yeah. All right, we just touched base. We had Papa Carnivore. Wow. Question: does the carnivore diet help with people who have had tumors removed, help with recovery after surgery? All right. Well, first of all, let's have Carnivore Clair tell us a little bit about herself.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I meant to save it, not pop it up.
And then we're going to get into our questions, comments on all sides, and let's hashtag Carnivore Clair.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Carnivore Clair. So I work in a longevity therapeutics company that is founded by the head of OpenAI. And my background is that I was vegan for 10 years before, and my health dramatically declined. And then when I decided to become a longevity scientist, I realized I couldn't look like a zombie and represent the field. So I had to get better. And through listening to Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Anthony Chafee, I found the carnivore diet to make a lot of sense. And when I practiced that in myself, I saw dramatic improvements in my health and mental performance. So I'm with this diet, and I'm a strong believer.
How long you been doing it?
Carnivore strict for only a few months. But I transitioned from vegan. I was more so keto, just simply introducing more meat in my diet, and then strict carnivore a few months. I feel dramatic improvements from strict carnivore. Even something like what I thought were innocent vegetables were actually causing me a lot of issues. A lot of oxalate poisoning, lectin intolerances, screwing around with my female menstrual cycle. I'm 32 years old and I lost my period for a number of years as a vegan. And that was not good. So I'm glad that I'm fertile once more and continuously healing.
So in your field of longevity science, can maybe you tell us a little bit about where the thinking is in the carnivore lifestyle and longevity, or at least health and wellness?
Yes, well, all the longevity pathways that we study and are making therapies for, whether or not the therapies are important is another question. But whether all the longevity pathways revolve around metabolism, and all of these things regulate insulin, or so regulate sugars. And carnivore is a way that our metabolic state can be optimal. And this makes sense with how we were evolved as humans. So because all this longevity work is revolving around something that carnivore drastically helps, that's how I found carnivore to make sense.
And in the longevity spaces, and maybe this is part of the challenges for all of us, can we sell carnivore and make money, or what are we doing here?
Well, in the longevity space, as of right now, a lot of the knowledge is coming from the research that was funded. And a lot of the funding comes from vegan source or more plant-based sources. But recently, due to AI, because what AI actually does is learn from real world stories. So I think these stories are so important. These channels, like platforms like yours and all the other success stories coming from carnivore, are so important because AI looks at that and looks at like what diseases were reversed and what are the blood markers like on, let's say, plant-based versus carnivore. And this, with more and more data, AI is able to more in an unbiased way, tell us what is the truth.
Well, that's interesting. I was just thinking about that because we human beings are extremely biased, but and I imagine we could teach AI to be biased also, but maybe it cuts through all the yik yak.
It does, because that's how it is trained. In a way, it is just looking at what is the knowledge, and it applies the same principle. And the better the AI is, the better it's able to kind of in an unbiased way assess what the knowledge is telling us. So it is in a way. And then if it can also just analyze real world, let's say blood work, it will be able to just kind of black and white tell us which one is better for for overall health and longevity.
Well, I guess part of the question is in our analysis of our laboratory work, our diagnostic testing, maybe there's a new paradigm or a new norm we have to look at regarding those that are carnivore compared to those that are omnivores or herbivores.
Yes. And that's where I would say potentially this reminds me of Nick Norowitz, because I think he is kind of really pushing this. And actually, I went to the same school as him for my PhD. So we went to the exact same program, although we did not cross paths. But yeah.
What's your PhD in?
My PhD is, so it's at the University of Oxford. Mine was on stem cells and his was metabolism, but the program is called Physiology, Anatomy, and Genetics. And we both did that PhD. So that's kind of, I thought it was quite cool that we're both kind of in this space and we both did the same course.
So in your PhD work, where was nutrition?
None at all. Because my PhD was more on basic sciences and the stem cells. But yes, indeed, there was nothing on nutrition, but there was actually quite a bit of work on metabolism and mitochondrial health. So that's also where my brain was going in kind of seeing how carnivore was the answer, because it improves something as simple as the fact that like energy, you get around 3.5 times more energy from fat as you do from sugar. So, that's more efficient, minus the oxidative stress.
So I'm my theory is we never burn sugar.
That's a good point. Well, yeah, because it's inefficient.
Well, no, but it's an impossibility because so when we eat food, what's the biggest problem around the world from eating food that everyone complains about?
Getting fat.
Getting fat. Okay, so isn't that sort of like a simplicity? Wait a minute. You eat food, I get fat. Why do we think sugar is energy when in fact sugar is for us to get fat?
Yes, that is true. But sugar can go through the Krebs cycle and make ATP. It can, but it causes oxidative stress and it harms our
But how do we know sugar goes through the Krebs cycle when nobody that is skinny survives long, and yet they have plenty of sugar? So if fat is the only fuel for the mitochondria, but sugar must go to the liver, be converted to fat via insulin, or you die. Type 1 diabetics die without insulin, and liver failure patients, severe cirrhotics, die also. And so, again, it's acetyl-CoA that goes through the Krebs cycle, not glucose.
Right. That's
glucose.
Yeah.
So as a scientist, I question our science because we still keep saying sugar has less energy and it's less efficient, but in fact, it has nothing to do with ATP production directly.
Right. This is a really good point because a lot of the knowledge that we know are coming from like yeast or cells. And we don't really know fully a lot of these things. We don't know what's actually happening in a human. So I think it's more important to see real world results than to go with this knowledge that we haven't even seen in humans.
Right. And so even Krebs and Otto Warburg and all the people that defined every metabolic cycle simply worked in a laboratory in a cell, and not even understanding. And you think about the human body or a mammal, but basically, how does a butterfly fly all the way from Northern America to Mexico?
Crazy.
Does it use sugar or does it use fat?
Fat.
There's no storage of sugar.
Yeah.
So then why would we even think that sugars are energy?
Exactly. Yeah, that's a really good point. And it causes a lot of problems. These are the leading causes of infertility, like PCOS and erectile dysfunction are all metabolic.
Okay, so or they're toxic. So I guess the question is, and what's a goitrogen?
Yeah, it's something that it's like cruciferous vegetables that that cause inflammation and cause reproductive harm. These things,
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I want to learn from a smart person here.
It should have been hashtag Smarty Pants.
Yeah. No. This is really important because everyone's looking to heal and get better. And I love Gene Hackman, but to see him in 95 walking around like this makes me realize, and I was listening to Jordan Peterson this morning, that at 70, I'll be 70 next year, and realizing we need to be active, but we need to eat the proper human diet. And I guess the question is, you're perfect to see what's going on in our world.
And yes, things like goitrogens and all of these things that cause reproductive harm are harming our mitochondria. And it just does not, it also just harms essentially they all feed into metabolism. So all these things,
Well, when we use the word metabolism, kind of like your car, right? Yeah. Sometimes your brakes go, your tires go, the carburetor goes, the cylinder goes, the electrical system goes. So when we say metabolism, aren't we being very narrow?
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, isn't there like so many nanomotors? These nanomotors are working I'm moving, I'm talking, I'm seeing, my brain is going like, okay, the universe, is that just mitochondria?
That is true. It's all of these things working in harmony. And also, yes. And we must do so in line with our species appropriate evolution. Because otherwise we don't have the ability to handle some of these toxins.
I'm listening to a book and reading a book, The Comfort Crisis.
Yes.
And Michael Easter, and they're out in Alaska and hunting caribou, and they brought all their stuff with them. When we went hunting in the outback 50,000 years ago, what did we eat when we didn't have any food to eat?
No.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
And so are we built to go days and weeks without food, or simply an hour?
Days and weeks without food.
And so what are we burning as energy when we go days and weeks without food?
Fat.
So why would we ever burn sugar?
That makes a lot of sense. I think the thing is, the people who are used to relying on sugar, they do need to go through potentially an adaptation phase before they're able to efficiently burn fat. So there is something there.
or we're detoxifying, and basically we're still living on instinct alone. People think their brain is smart. It's not. Why would you eat sugar, sweet things?
Because you're addicted to it. It's a quick hit.
Right, but there's nothing, it's basically we eat it because the brain says eat it to get fat in order to survive.
Yes, that is true.
And so we make it as if there's something pathologic wrong with you.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with people who are fat.
this is our evolution as well. I mean, that's how we are programmed to be. So
if people, if all of our community here, both on Kiltz Mighty Tribe, Instagram, or YouTube, Facebook, have questions for Claire, please, or any of us, throw them in. Ali has a little bit of an upper respiratory thing. Dr. Nelson, who's in the chat, we're sending him healing powers and all of this. Are bacteria and yeast our food?
they could be, because when I was growing up, I had kombucha, so I guess that's kind of that is bacteria and yeast.
Right? Is alcohol really a component of bacteria and yeast?
It comes from it. So
Right. But when you drink wine, like the bacteria and yeast exited the side door once they made the alcohol?
oh yeah, that's a good point. I think in beer they're still there, maybe.
Well, I mean, are bacteria, yeast, and viruses everywhere?
Yes.
All right. And if they're everywhere, I mean, are they our human body says, oh, we need bacteria and yeast to eat because they're really important for our gut?
Not necessarily. No.
I mean, who made that one up?
I know. Oh, Dr. Will Bolsevich, I think.
Right. And so in fact, are we simply given a lot of scientific snake oil that's trying to tell us something really complicated, but there's something really, really simple here?
This was something that actually I got from you that was so inspiring. It was like an aha moment that the answer is actually so simple. We needn't go into all this convoluted science that may or may not reflect in humans, and the study may or may not be funded and have conflicts of interest. No, that's too confusing. We need to practice healing practices and see what works and support the healing of all our brothers and sisters that are getting amazing results from this carnivore approach.
You want to get that question there, Alia? And Claire, maybe you could take a stab at it?
I'm 64, about to be 65. I only eat meat, but I'm overeating cheese. I do still have coffee with heavy cream. I'm working on getting off the cheese. What are your thoughts on cheese?
So cheese for me, I did have in the beginning, but because there are casomorphins in it that could be addicting, I stopped and actually felt much better personally. And also myself being of Asian descent, I have lactose intolerance. So some people, they may have lactose intolerance and not even notice it. And also the addictive nature of it could cause issues. So I think getting off it, if it is possible, because it could also be quite addicting.
I imagine cows and other mammals, they'd all be sucking on the tits to get milk throughout their adult lifetime, but they're not, are they?
No.
And so consuming milk or milk products is essentially not a normal process for an adult.
Yeah. And also, there's also like the just a little bit of a nuance. There's the A1 versus A2 casein, and some people can tolerate the A2 better, which is found in like sheep's cheese, for example.
But it's still the same problem.
Yeah,
it's not. I mean, what animal says, "Oh, I want A1, A5, A10, A3," right?
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's true.
And ultimately, is there's only one milk that's natural for human beings.
Yeah, mothers.
Their mother's milk, and maybe it's also related to your mother's milk more so than someone else's mother's milk. Even though you may be able to tolerate it better than cow's milk, it may not be so good for us either.
Yeah, that is true.
Target prime rib question.
Could too much fat cause diarrhea? Yes, is the answer. Yes is the answer.
Claire.
It depends also. Yes, I would say yes, but also like, for example, for me, I never had issues with too much fat. And I think that's because I'm from northern China and my ancestors and relatives all ate very fatty foods. So I was probably just primed to eat a ton of fat and have no issues. But
I love
yes,
that.
it can.
Well, I'm curious, as our ancestors, did they wait for the cook in order to render the fat to eat the fatty meat, or
No.
did they eat their meat raw?
Oh, that is true. Well, my aunts, at least my relatives, like they did eat both like raw and fatty and cooked.
Right, but in our initial ascent to the Homo sapiens, or whatever we call ourselves,
Yeah.
isn't it likely that because the only food good for you is the fat on your body,
Yeah.
and that's it?
Yes.
And so I think too much rendered fat causes diarrhea, but raw fat probably does not.
Yeah.
And
That's
how many people are eating the raw fat right from the animal?
Not many.
Not many.
Mhm.
And I mean, isn't the biggest problem for 99% of the world, they're worried they're going to get fat?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, I mean, why are GLP-1s, metformin, all the drugs, dissections that are related to being skinny, the number one purpose and process of humanity?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
We got another question. Brad, the more I eat, the more I lose. How do I know when to try fasting?
I guess eat more. Yeah, because you do want to have like a good, and it also depends on like your goals and like, it's like, for example, myself as a female of reproductive age, I do want to make sure I have like enough nutrition. But this is a common thing in carnivore that people like my colleagues and friends who have tried it, they tend to undereat. And myself, I've always had a huge appetite, so I think I am okay, but it is because like eating meat is so satiating. So kind of try to eat more. Maybe it could be helpful to just slightly like track to see how much, like a ballpark, how much you're eating, and see, because I
And
think
I also believe that our biggest problem is back to, if you look at Pottinger's cats, Pottinger did a study on cooked meat, raw meat, pasteurized milk, raw milk, and the animals got sick on cooked meat and pasteurized milk. So okay, what animal eats to get skinny?
no
Human.
one.
None.
Human
Okay.
animal.
So
Human.
so the majority of carnivores do not eat and get skinnier in general, but many do. But it's likely still the problem is gut dysbiosis, gut dysfunction,
Yeah.
and basically, I mean, again, animals eat in order to make fat, in order to survive, and that's really the simplistic part of all of this.
Yeah.
And so, what was that question again? Go back to that question on
When to try fasting. I think, yeah.
Oh, when to try fasting? Let me find it again.
Yeah, and so the fasting, I think, I mean, I'm on a day one of like a 3-day fast right now. Okay. And why do I do it? Because it's strength, it's power. It's basically gives you the power to say, I can do that or not do that.
Exactly. Actually, like for me as well, I naturally fast. Like I think when you can fast, when you can do it easily. Because I'm doing it easily now. Like let's say OMAD is so easy. So I think you can do it when your body is like, yeah, you can do it. Because it gives me that mental clarity. It gives me strength. I feel, and then afterwards I can eat a good portion. So when your body tells you like, you're just naturally not hungry.
And so it allows you to hunt,
Yeah.
and be stealth and quiet and patient, because hunting requires patience.
Yes.
You know, the horses and the cows, no matter what, they're going to try to grab the grasses and the feed, but the lion, he just keeps walking.
Yeah.
Keeps moving.
Yeah.
And so this, I think, if you're losing, I mean, again, so many people want to be skinny on this, And the challenge is, the natural brain says, are you dumb?
Yeah, exactly. And when you're hunting, actually, it raises like growth factor. So it helps preserve your muscles. So that's how muscles can be preserved during a fast.
Well, if you look at the bears, they hibernate, gestate, they lose no muscle mass, no bone mass for 6 months.
Wow.
Okay, so you see, we keep on saying you're going to lose muscle mass. You're not.
No.
Remember, there's intramuscular fat, intraosseous fat, subcutaneous fat, perinephric fat, visceral fat. And we've made fat to be the villain here.
Yeah.
Is fat the cause of any disease?
Inflammatory fat, maybe. Potentially. There are fats that are causing inflammatory signals. But
based on what study?
Based on Ben Bickman's work, which is more fundamental research. So that is
right, but it's also on people who are consuming a
Yeah.
plant-based diet.
Yeah.
So if you've got circulating toxins from plants in your body, it goes to every cell of your body, right?
Yeah, that is true.
So our fat is not toxic.
No.
It is actually healthy for us. So when we start saying this concept that, oh, fat is so bad for you, is bullshit.
Yeah.
And,
That is
and,
very true.
and so I guess part of the next question, Claire, is what's your take on insulin resistance?
It's natural. That's how our bodies are meant to be. And currently, with all of this processed, like non-natural things like inflammatory seed oils and all this processed sugar, it harms us. But it is a natural response of how our bodies are meant to be.
So I always go to, what's the job of insulin?
It's to give us to bring in sugar to give us energy.
Okay, here's my theory. I'm giving the theory. Insulin's job is one-fold. It's to make fat.
Yeah.
In the liver.
Yeah.
No other cell of the body makes fat.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, if the job of the liver is to make fat and the job of insulin is to make fat, now the question is, what is insulin resistance?
The inability to use the fat.
Okay, so well, wait a minute. Our problem is we eat 3 to 6 meals a day, and people say, "Oh, my fat's not being used, and I'm just using sugar." Well, how did the sugar get in your bloodstream?
Through insulin, through eating.
Eating what?
Sugar.
Plants.
Plants, yeah.
Plants, right? And lean meat. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm just throwing, because you're really smart, and I'm questioning what we've been taught. And hepatogenous diabetes. How many people have heard of hepatogenous diabetes?
I've heard of it because you did a video about it.
Claire, you've not heard about it, right?
I think I've heard of you saying it. Yeah.
But did you know that cirrhosis causes type 2 diabetes?
Oh, wow.
But
Yeah.
rather than getting fat, you get skinny.
Yeah.
And the question is, well, why is that?
You harm the liver and
Yes, the liver's job is to make fat. If
Yeah.
the liver is damaged, you can't make fat.
Yeah.
And you die, even though you have high insulin and high sugars circulating in your bloodstream. But wait a minute. I thought insulin's job is to put sugar in the cell.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not true.
Yeah, maybe that's not true. That's true. That's a good point.
I mean, in your studies and your studies, your practice, your work of longevity, what's the secret to longevity?
Having good insulin control.
Or is it good genes?
No, it's not good genes. It's having good having a good like environment. That is the secret of longevity. Most of it is adjusted by the environment.
Now, my grandmother lived 104. She smoked Pall Malls and drank Manhattans. And Gene Hackman lived to 95.
Yeah.
And so is it a long time or is it really a healthy time that we're looking for?
We're looking for a healthy time where we're not frail and we feel good and we can connect with people. Yeah.
And so is it really longevity that is the most important thing here?
It's health span.
Health span, yeah. Right? So you want to be up here and then you go down here, right? Yeah. And so I'm 69 in 10 days. No, 7 days, 1 week. A week from today, I'll be 69. I'll be completing 69 years. And I've never felt better, but I am less active than I was when I was a kid and a teenager.
Yeah.
Is that our nature and that's part of our problem? We become part of the comfort crisis.
Yeah. Yeah, I think definitely like it's important for us to keep our muscle and keep active like how our ancestors were.
So how did you find food 50,000 years ago?
Had to hunt for it, had to look around, be active, find it.
We had to work at it. And would most foods say, yeah, come here, eat me?
Yeah. Come here, eat me. Yes.
Right. I mean, is our food really saying, to kill a cow or a moose or caribou, not easy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is it easy to kill kale?
Easy.
Now, is kale good for us?
No.
What is it plants have that animals don't?
Defense chemicals.
Defense chemicals. And that's one of the most important things. What, you want to get that question there?
Yeah, it's from Brandon Staples. Hi, Kiltz. Been a while. I have a question. Does the carnivore diet help with people who have had tumors removed, help with recovery after surgery?
Claire, what do you think?
Yes. It's going to be helpful no matter what, because it's your optimal human nutrition. Yeah, it helps you heal.
Oh, let's see. Teresa Pedersen, 4 months carnivore, add at least a quarter pound of butter a day to my diet. I'm 108 pounds, 5'7", 66 years young, no gallbladder, total hysterectomy 30 years ago, crazy sweets, sweats hot and cold. What can I do? Love this way of eating. Also neuropathy and not diabetic problems for 2 years now. Claire, what are your thoughts? This is from Kiltz Mighty Tribe. Teresa Pedersen, a lot of butter.
Yeah, that's good. Fat is good. Keep at it, I think.
Could it be, though, the butter for some people is an issue?
It could be, because some people may not be able to tolerate some of the dairy parts of it. So, because for example, for me, due to like a little bit of still lactose intolerant, I found that I felt the best when I just ate fatty red meat with a lot of fat. So because I have a lot of fat, I'm able to fast and I'm able to I have zero sugar cravings.
And so, I mean, the lions, I guess if we fed lions candy, would they eat it?
Yes.
And I've got a great picture. I don't have it up on this, of a polar bear eating trash.
Yeah.
Now, ultimately, is that their go-to food?
No, it's opportunistic.
Opportunistic. And are we not eating opportunistically?
All the time. And I found that, if you subscribe to social norms, which I never was really a fan of, so this is also great for my personality, because if you just do what everyone else does, it didn't really lead me to a great place. So,
right.
Yeah.
Brenna, Brenna Olson on Kiltz, on Dr. Kiltz Instagram. I've fallen off the carnivore diet and feeling like I'll never get back to it. I'm trying to have faith, but I want my body back and my mental health back. Send prayers. What's your advice for Brenna Olson, who's sort of fallen off the tribal way?
Potentially trying to join like a carnivore community to get the support. So if it's not like naturally easy for you, it would help to have more people in the same boat trying this out.
And Kiltz Mighty Tribe is for free for everyone, by the way. We're working to get 1 million in the tribe, Kiltz Mighty Tribe, and we are adding other things in our books and carnivore courses, but it's a community, and we need volunteers to help in the community because, as you can imagine, I have a couple other things to do also.
I would love to help. Yeah.
And again, the more we do this together, and we need to do a meetup are you in San Francisco?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, we need to do a meetup, maybe in the Bay Area somewhere.
Exactly. Awesome. I was wanting to organize meetups as well because I'm part of some groups here and we have never met up. So I think the community part is so important because a lot of our colleagues are following natural ways of being, and that is just not the same thing as what we're doing. So it helps to have community.
And obviously we are sort of an outward expression of the people we hang out with, the things we read, watch, and think about. And so if you want to change your lifestyle, you have to change your community. And no disrespect to your other communities, but you need to go out. You need to get a little bit of discomfort. And we're going to get Michael Easter on and talk about Michael Easter and his book. But we're also got Noah Whiteman coming on and talking about the poisonous plants.
Wow.
Right?
Exactly.
Right?
They're smart. The plants are smart. They're trying to control us. So we're not letting them by being carnivore.
Oh my God. And listen, I love cookie cake and ice cream from time to time, or a French fry martini, a piece of chocolate. And I too have to hold the strength in the community. That's often why I do my 3 to 5 to 7 day fasting. I'm actually working on a 10-day fast coming up. I haven't quite, my brain is working on it. I will then acknowledge it and then I will do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of, you got to push yourself, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So more community.
Lisa, Coach Lisa Pickert's in the house. Zero. Is coffee good is it good for us, Claire?
No, because there's plant toxins in it and potential mold.
Oh, all day long, right?
Yeah.
And I'm working to help. Again, some people are in Kiltz Mighty Tribe. Some people are on Instagram, Dr. Kiltz. My CNY fertility Instagram kind of got stolen from me. I got to get it back. Maybe Ollie, we could work on that.
Yeah.
Do we have a meetup coming up?
We have an Austin meetup coming up this weekend. It's amazing. Make sure you're there. I put the sign up link at the top of Dr. Kiltz's chat. There is also a meetup next month, April 13th in Yuma, Tennessee. And then
we gotta say Yuma, Tennessee, because I think Yuma, Arizona. Yuma, Tennessee.
Every time I type Yuma, Arizona. So that's April 13th, Yuma, Tennessee. And then we have Meat Stock in May. The 15th through the 17th. 15th through 17th of May. And then
we've got Australia the 26th
of April.
Also.
Yes, a lot of stuff coming
really
up.
Awesome.
And Seattle, June 7th. There's a meetup, a Healing Humanity meetup, Seattle on June 7th. And then Boston is going to be June 28th. We will be eating lunch at Fogo de Chao. It's a Brazilian steakhouse. And then I'm working out the hotel.
And put together your meetups around the country, around the globe, because we're growing Kiltz Mighty Tribe community. There's so many great communities out there. We're all really working together. That's the beauty I love of this space. We're all hanging out together, and that's what I love. We had Sean Baker on this week. We got to get, maybe when we go west, we'll do some 5 a.m. based on the West Coast times.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
That would be
Yeah.
kind of cool. Mix it up a little bit.
Yes.
What do you think science science has to offer us in our healing humanity communities?
I would say potentially only in the technology part that allows us to read out like what is happening in our health very accurately. That is potentially the only thing, to be honest.
But
also, yep.
Go ahead.
I guess also in more of the out there therapies like stem cells or like rejuvenation that allows us, like when someone has end stage disease, to allow us to reverse it. But otherwise, I think if we just follow how our ancestors were evolved to be, a lot of healing can be already done without any of that.
Is animal fat bitter?
No, I don't think so.
But plants are bitter.
Yeah.
Or plants are sweet, right?
Yeah.
It could be either one. Is that a confirmed, Lisa? Is Dr. Barry in Yuma, Tennessee?
Dr. Barry is in Tennessee. Where in Tennessee? I don't know, but maybe he's
No, but
close
is he
to
going to
Yuma.
be at the Yuma, Tennessee event? I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Last I heard, 80%, 90% confirmed. This says Dr. Barry confirmed for Yuma.
Well, that was my comment a little bit. So
okay, 90% confirmed is what I've heard.
But Claire, would you agree that we still love technology and data and science?
Yes.
And that's really our drive. It's entertainment.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit like, I think in a way, like, I guess, right now, if like, let's say medical care is very much influenced by doctors and that is reliant on science. But I think we're moving more and more away from that because people are able to now learn from YouTube and learn from social media and then practice things in themselves and see what is the truth. So
I keep on getting great books people send me, The Truth About Our Plates.
We're going to talk to them very soon, by the way.
Yes. But that's good. But again, where it's the stories. So what you're saying is ultimately, I mean, would you carry a Bible or Scientific America to war?
Bible.
Yeah. And when who's it? Dawkins, the prime atheist of the world, he doesn't believe in God.
Exactly.
And I always ask the question, well, do you believe in yourself? And usually the answer is, oh, yeah, sure. I said, well, that's God.
God is in all of us.
And we're all God.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that so amazing? Kathy Accurso, yes, the Bible. Can you show the book Poisoning? Oh, yeah. Let's see what I do with my poisoning book. Again, we got all this. This is going in our website, our new website, where we have easy ways to identify the books that Kiltz has been living with for a long time. And I'm reading voraciously. I listen to books. I watch your YouTube stories, by the way. That's why I love Claire and Instagram. And again, and what don't we love watching people eat?
Yeah.
Right?
It's very funny.
Yeah. And eating with people. I want to do more of this and just eat with fellow carnivores.
Yes. I did bring a little bone broth. Miss T made me some chicken bone broth. Takes a bunch of chicken, the skin, the bones, and then I get the juices. And I think, is bone broth good for us?
Yes.
Very good for us.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
There's glycine, gelatin, collagen, all that. And like my relative, my family in China, actually, they naturally eat fatty carnivore. I was so impressed. And I'm like,
well, China, there's longevity in China. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of Western stuff going on around the world. And I don't know if Western is the right even word to use anymore. Yeah. But there's a lot of animal fats and animals. And the Mongols, ultimately, I mean, what they eat? Meat.
Exactly. And that's more closer to my origins. Like I don't know exactly. I'm northern China and then also like Xi'an with more of like the Muslim China population that ate a lot of beef, fatty beef and lamb.
I mean, who's our favorite person to watch eating? It's like I'm
Sean
just
Baker.
scrolling. What's that?
He does a little dance when he cuts it. He's like doing a little exactly.
Oh, Sean. Yeah. Let's see. Kathy says Dr. Sean is the greatest to watch eat.
Yeah.
And always and Miss Lisa is wonderful. Yeah. Oh, Dr. Barry is confirmed. All right, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Dr. Barry's
Are we gonna be there?
We're gonna be there, yes.
Oh.
You, I don't know who else, but we'll make it happen.
Right on. Most delicious poison. Yeah, that's a good one. And comfort. I mean, do we not seek easy every day?
Yeah.
Is that part of our problem, Claire?
Yeah. And that doesn't do very well for our brain. That makes our brain lazy and it doesn't allow us to be as functional and clear in our
Am I going to Seattle? When's Seattle?
Seattle is May 7th. You are going to Seattle. It's on the schedule.
Is it okay.
June 7th. June 7th.
June 7th.
Yeah. I'm not going to Seattle, but
might pop by because it's close to me.
Yay! Claire's going. Claire will go.
Yeah. All right. Kiltz will be there. Kiltz will be. I mean, this is so important because ultimately, what I've learned in medicine as a physician is the change in our diets is like the single most important thing that I've ever learned, and my science has really trained us to give a differential diagnosis and then find the drug or dissection that'll heal you or help you. Yeah. But ultimately, if you keep on the same or similar diet, it's just not a good story, right?
And I think this is where the only part that science can help is just show that your approach, this dietary approach, really works. This leads to real world results.
And our research institute at CNY Fertility and Kiltz Health, combined, we're gathering the scientific stories and reporting on them. And we don't need a placebo-controlled double-blind study. We simply want your story, your N of one, and becomes N of infinity, and we bring back our humanness to the story. Is that right, Claire?
Yep, that's correct. And yeah, because I work with OpenAI, I have new versions of the AI, and it is actually now telling me that keto carnivore is the appropriate way to be, appropriate way to eat.
Wow.
When we say keto,
yeah.
What do we talk? What's keto? What is keto? I don't know what keto
is. It is essentially carnivore, but for people who find it a little bit difficult to give up all plants, it's a transition phase.
Right. So keto is the on-ramp.
Yeah.
Or the elevator to the top of the line, which is carnivore.
The lion's way. Yeah.
And Marlinda, Dr. Baker, Ali, I love your enthusiasm, energy. You go, girl.
Aww.
Awesome.
Who said that?
Baker's got the top of the line for we love to watch. And he's like, what did Carrie put him? What's his character?
Carrie? I don't know.
Carrie Mann's character that he showed in his talk with Sean Baker.
I don't know. I missed it.
Some super comic hero.
Yeah.
And where do you see this carnivore lifestyle going in your generation and the next generation?
Becoming more and more widely adopted for people to realize this is just the way we should be. And it will help us be more ourselves because it cuts through all the noise that clouds our minds. And it'll make us kinder, more creative, more connected. So I think people will start to see the truth.
So do you find that your creativity and your expression and your energy of life is improved?
Night and day, night and day. Before, when I was vegan, I had insomnia, depression, anxiety, and all of that is completely gone now. And I'm able to sleep. My mind is able to clearly think. I'm able to hear exactly what I want instead of being confused. And also, something really funny that happened to me is that I suddenly gained the ability to speak fluent Chinese. I literally could not speak Chinese, but
Wow.
because I learned as a little kid in China, once I became carnivore, I could speak fluent Chinese. And this has allowed me to reconnect with my relatives in China, which is so valuable to me.
Anita S has a question. Did you get back?
Oh, sorry.
How's the question?
Claire, clarify stem cell for end stage disease, please.
So diseases such as hearing loss, for example, stem cells could help treat that. Or or like, let's say, knee pain, like anything. What stem cells does is, let's say an organ that's not functioning, like liver, like end stage liver failure, or anything like that. Stem cells can come in and rejuvenate that organ. But these are things that are more for now, it is more for the wealthy. So I think it definitely is helpful for us to find healing, simple healing from diet.
And it's our job as we age, all of us, to share and help our younger generations.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty for myself. It's what can I do to help my child, her child, and his child, and going back, and bringing back through health and wellness. And I always say the best way to change the world is not to try to attack others, but to grow a new field of ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this new ideas, or is this
ancient? No, this is ancient. This is ancient wisdom. There was so much noise and all this stuff that clouded our sight. But this is just kind of cutting through all the crap and reconnecting with our ancestral selves.
How to get off coffee?
Oh, it's easy. You just stop. That's how easy it is. You just stop. Drink bone broth.
And bone broth. But yeah, I've been off of it now, technically 2 years, and I had 1 month I drank decaf a year ago. But and it really is. I'm a non-caffeine coffee drinker. I rarely have alcohol. I rarely have tea. If I do any of those things, it's small amounts. And that's it. Can you be off it completely? Sure, you can.
Yeah, I did it for 3 months.
Amy Parent, Brisket Boomers. By the way, type 1 diabetics or anyone wants to learn more about carnivore, Brisket Boomers on YouTube, and Amy, I think she has a Facebook group, but stem cells for diabetes. What are your thoughts, Claire?
It could. For cases where you can't produce insulin, that could help. And we also have natural stem cells within us. That's the thing. And having a species appropriate diet will help our natural stem cells rejuvenate our organs and heal ourselves.
Is fat a source of stem cells?
It provides, well, there are fat stem cells for sure, but it also it provides the proper fuel for our stem cells to replenish.
And the building blocks.
Yeah.
So when people talk, so that's why a bear and all organisms that hibernate are basically the food you eat doesn't go directly to the baby. It's the fat. Remember, your liver makes VLDL, very low density lipid. It basically makes a delivery truck for every mineral, vitamin, building block for your baby. And so we need to elevate adipose tissue and obesity. Yeah. Again, we have maligned people in a way that is deadly, deadly, deadly.
Yeah. And the consumption of fat, like a lot of these things are precursors to essential hormones for our health. So we've just maligned them, and whereas they actually cause optimal health.
And so, every time I hear someone, I can't lose weight, be happy with your weight and your mind and body. as you go into a more sustainable lifestyle as a lion, you begin to move more. Tell us a little bit about your exercise routine, Claire.
Exactly. I was not really that athletic, but since I became carnivore, I started just wanting to lift more weights. Like I just became stronger. I literally I'm progressive overloading in the gym, and I'm not training that hard. I'm not like overheating or anything. It's just I just naturally want to lift something heavy. That's it.
And I go for light walks, 30, 60 minutes a day. I do weights. Hello to your daughter there.
I don't know what she's asking me something. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
This is like, I know it's the countdown to the last few minutes of the live stream when she pops in here.
Hello.
Everyone put hashtag Carnivore Clair in the chat because we're gonna do the giveaway in a second. Yeah.
Beta cell transfers for over 30. What's a beta cell transfer, Claire?
It's the cells that produce, I guess, insulin.
Yeah. So it's a stem cell essentially.
Yeah.
You know, it's and ultimately carnivore will help many type 1s not need any insulin.
Exactly.
Because they probably already make it. But I always think about thyroid disease. If you remove the goitrogens, quite often the thyroid gland comes back to normal function.
Yep.
So I think the same can happen. And ultimately, my sister Marianne, I got a picture of my sister Marianne right by my side every day. She had diabetes since age 4. She died at 52 of heart failure. And she inspires me every day to understand that basically, you know, we were all eating a plant-based diet. Yeah. And I believe she just happened to be one that got damage in her pancreas. Now, I had migraines and I couldn't read and I was ADHD and OCD. And so we all get something, don't we?
Exactly. Yeah.
What about only eating tuna? There was a question here from Owen, Collagen Fitness.
Mercury poison. Don't do it. Don't only eat tuna.
Like, I mean, really, we're land animals. We're not ocean animals, aren't we?
Fatty ruminants. I think that's
fatty ruminants are the best, right?
Yeah. And that's literally what my relatives in China eat. So I'm like, I literally should have just listened to them this whole time.
Well, but we have to go through our own journey, right? You have to go to the hero's journey of life, right?
Yes. Exactly.
You got to go through that, right?
Thank you. Yes.
We got to get to LA also to get to do a meetup. We want to go again. Create your meetups. Come online to Kiltz Mighty Tribe for free for everyone. We have a lot of add-ons we're doing, and volunteer. We have to have a volunteer button and volunteer and help in the community around the globe. That's what we really want to do. Your health and wellness does not need to cost a lot. Claire, would you say that basically a carnivore diet, you could do it affordably?
Exactly. Definitely.
I can hear.
All right, it's time. It's time.
Thank you.
Hi.
Yes.
Here we go. Who's winning today?
Yeah.
Granny Boo 2. Granny Boo 2. You need to email me at alia@drkiltz.com. I'm going to put that in the chat. alia@drkiltz.com, and I will get you your electrolytes.
All right. Here's a question from Instagram. Go Garrett. Carnivore for pregnancy. My sister is 43 years young, struggling with first-time fertility. What 3 things do you think would shift her mindset to carnivore? Where can I send her for carnivore fertility knowledge?
Dr. Kiltz. Baby. That's it. That's the one thing you need.
The baby's diet. And so I always say faith is always first. Visualize the thing you wish for, and it shall be that or better, always. And community is critical. And, you know, you throw away the plants, feed the plants to the pigs, cows, and sheep, and eat the pigs, cows, and sheep, right?
Yep. And prayer, like stress reduction.
Yeah. So I mean, I've got my prayer books all over the place. Philosophy, right?
Yes.
Quality rather than appearance. Ethics rather than rules. Knowledge rather than achievement. Integrity rather than domination. serenity rather than accusations. This is from our good friend Wayne Dyer. Do you have any favorite books, Claire?
I did enjoy a lot of existential literature. I guess the essential writings of Ralph Waldo Emerson. I like that.
Okay, I got to get that. I don't have that.
Yes, because it really taught me like to be a scientist. It was like it's not about like being perfect and quantifying everything. It's about taking a leap of faith to try to understand the deepest seated secrets of nature. To just be an all-round observer and learner, and not just count little things, quantify like little additions and subtractions.
And Marilda Tumala, Hebrew 1:6, without faith, it is impossible to please God. King James Version. And it really is a simple concepts and ideas. As you think, so shall it be. Oh, let's see. Cynthia, Wayne Dyer. Oh my God. Amazing. Ralph Waldo Emerson. I mean, so much amazing.
Herman Hesse as well. I like.
Oh yeah. And another one that I really love is one of my good friends, Neville Goddard.
Wow.
Neville Goddard is another amazing one. So, all right, everyone.
Books and talk about it on Kiltz.
Yeah. I actually did a book club where I did a book like a week for a while, and then I kind of shifted. I'm a voracious reader, and yet I grew up not reading at all. I just the words will go all over the place, and then certainly when I went paleo about 25 years ago. Then I went paleo, and then I found keto and then carnivore, and all those things were part of the transition to improving my life. And the best thing that's ever happened to me is all of you, because we're all a family and we're learning together. It's crazy. Okay, Claire, where can people hang out with you and listen and learn from you?
At Carnivore Clair on Instagram, or you can email me, carnivoreclairlongevity@gmail.com.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you, Claire. We appreciate it. Thank you to everyone on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Kiltz Mighty Tribe. Much love to everyone. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we will see. We'll see another Claire tomorrow morning, Claire Grant.
Awesome.
All right, bye, everybody.
Thank you